Hi there, it's Paul Ramsden. So I want to talk to you about something that I saw come up with somebody else today. And it was the idea that life is happening to them. So things are being done to them by life. Now, this belief that things are being done to you builds up the victim mindset inside of us. We all have these different little archetypes inside, and we all have a victim archetype. And saying that to yourself actually gives this archetype strength, gives it power. And the way to change that around and get yourself into a more positive and productive way of thinking about things is to ask a different question. And that is to ask a question of, how is this showing up for me? Because what tends to happen when we go through things, and we all go through things, no matter how far down the spiritual path that you are, we all go through things because we're human. Okay? So there's three things that tends to be happening, right? Number one, we're getting shown what's ready to be cleared. So there's things that are inside of us from a past that we haven't resolved and healed. And we'll suddenly start getting things coming up in our life revolving around that. It could be past anger that we've got, that we're holding on to somebody, or even to ourselves. So for instance, what I was doing on myself, just yesterday, I was doing this. And what it was about when I was 18, I had an accident. I was at Taekwondo, and I tore all the cartilage in my knee. And I've had problems with my knees since I was 18, and I was in so much pain that day from my knees. And it was like, this is what was showing up for me. It was showing up, you know what? It's time to let go of that now. It's time to forgive yourself for what happened. You made a mistake when you were 18. Who hasn't? And by instead forgiving that part of myself that made the mistake, and I struck a deal with it really to give it love. Every time that I feel a pain, instead of blaming it, actually I started to give it love, and the pain from my knees went like that. Most days I've been struggling to walk, and now I'm totally fine again, back to normal. That's how it was showing up for me. The second way that things come into your life is that you're learning something. Now, what tends to happen is that we have an experience from the past and sometimes resolve it, but we don't learn the lesson. So the lesson stays, and we keep repeating that lesson until we bring it to completion. So the deal that I made with my younger self, that whenever I felt pain, instead of blaming, from now on I would send love and forgiveness. That brings that lesson into completion about forgiving myself and giving love to myself, and how important it is to give love to myself. So if you're finding a lesson coming up over and over and over again, this is what it's showing you. And the third way that life shows up for you is actualizing things that you want. So when you release the past, you learn the lesson, then you get to actualize. You get to have the things coming into your life that you're wanting. So whenever you start to find yourself say, why is this happening to me? Let that be a trigger for you to switch that question around. How is this showing up for me? What do I need to let go of, or forgive, or release? What do I need to learn from this? And what can this bring into my life? Start to ask those sorts of questions and notice how your life changes. It's been great to speak to you, and take care. I'll speak again soon. Bye now.